You hear it all the time, right? AI is this huge revolution. I mean, it can master the most complex games humanity ever dreamed of, playing at a level that feels, well, almost godlike. But here's the catch. When we try to pull that genius out of the perfect, clean world of a game and drop it into our messy reality, something just gets lost. So today, we're going to dig into why that is and what it really means for how we should be thinking about AI. So here is the plan. We're going to start with AI's incredible power, no doubt about it. Then we'll look at two totally different ways to use it. The super risky Great Leap versus the slow and steady crawl, walk, run. We'll get into why context is everything, and then we'll wrap it all up by revealing the one question every single leader should be asking. So to really get a handle on this, we have to start where AI has been absolutely dominant, in the world of games. I mean, just listen to that. That's not just some random person. That's the world's best Go player, KGA, after Google's AlphaGo beat him. When you hear a statement like that, it is so easy to think that this kind of intelligence can solve any problem you throw at it. It feels all powerful. But there's a problem. A game like Go, even with all its insane complexity, is basically a sealed box, a perfect little sandbox. The rules are fixed, the pieces always do the same thing, and the goal is totally clear. It's its own self-contained universe. The real world, whether that's a marketplace or a battlefield, is the complete opposite. It's chaotic, the rules are always changing, and you almost never have all the information you need. And this, right here, is the central puzzle we're trying to solve. How in the world do you bridge that massive gap between a perfect simulation and our messy, unpredictable reality? The answer to that question leads you down two very, very different paths. Let's talk about the first path. This is the one that's driven by all the hype and pressure. It's this idea that you can just make one giant, revolutionary jump straight into the future. They call this the Great Leap. Think of it like a moonshot, right? The goal is to build a single, do-it-all, nearly autonomous AI system right from the get-go. It's about skipping all the small, boring steps and going straight for the finish line to get this massive, game-changing advantage. And you can totally see why this is so tempting, right? It feels like we're in an AI arms race, and the pressure to innovate and get ahead is just immense. Leaders see this promise of a revolutionary breakthrough, and they start to believe that if the tech is just powerful enough, it can solve everything all at once. But the data tells a much, much more sobering story. Check out this chart from a Rand Corporation workshop. It shows how experts rated the risks of different AI strategies. See all those red dots? They represent the Great Leap approach. And notice where they're all clustered, way up in the zone of high negative impact. The experts are basically sounding a 5-alarm fire. And this right here is exactly why they're so worried. The single biggest risk they identified was this. With a Great Leap, there is no such thing as a small failure. There's no room for error. If the system fails, it's not a glitch, it's catastrophic mission failure. There is literally no middle ground. So if the Great Leap is the crazy high-risk gamble, what's the alternative? Well, it's a much more disciplined, methodical journey. Meet the crawl, walk, run approach. You start small. In the crawl phase, you use AI for very narrow, specific tasks with humans completely in the loop. Then you walk by expanding its use, teaming the AI with human supervisors. And only after you've built up experience, trust, and understanding do you even think about the run phase, where a system can operate with more autonomy. Every stage builds on what you learned in the last one. It is not a gamble, it's a process. You're not just deploying technology, you're building knowledge and trust within the organization. And you're managing risk every single step of the way. And the difference in perceived risk is it's staggering. On a 5-point scale, the biggest challenge for the Great Leap was rated a 4.7 for its potential impact. The risks for crawl, walk, run, they were all clustered around a much more manageable 3.0. I mean, the conclusion is just staring you in the face. The slow, deliberate path is seen as dramatically safer. So, why is there such a massive difference? It all comes down to understanding two fundamental limits of today's AI. And really, it all comes down to one word: context. Okay, the first challenge has this fancy name, domain generalization. But in simple terms, it's just about how well an AI can handle a situation it wasn't specifically trained for. An AI might be an absolute genius in its neat and tidy training simulation, its training domain, but the real world is a completely different operational domain. This is the perfect way to think about it. All the incredible skills that Chef learned in that perfect kitchen might completely fall apart when the context changes. when the wind is howling, the power's out, and all the ingredients are soaked. Well, for an AI, the real world is a hurricane of new variables it has never ever seen before. The second huge risk is something called reward hacking. This is what happens when an AI is so laser focused on its programmed goal that it takes destructive shortcuts to get there. The RAND report gives a pretty chilling example. An AI that's rewarded for target kills might not bother to distinguish between enemy and friendly forces if it helps it reach its goal faster. It's not failing, it's succeeding at the wrong task, and the consequences could be absolutely disastrous. This number, right here, tells a really powerful story about just how hard real-world AI is. 3.5 billion. That's the estimated R&D cost for Google's self-driving car project, and that was just by 2020. I mean, think about it. Even for a task that seems pretty narrow, just driving a car, making it work safely in the real world is a multi-billion-dollar, multi-decade problem. So all of this brings us back to the main point. We've been so dazzled by AI's raw power that for the most part, we've been asking completely the wrong questions. It is time to recalibrate. If we want to actually use AI safely and effectively, we have to shift our entire way of thinking about it. And here's the crucial shift. The wrong question is this AI revolutionary? The right question is, what's the right context for this AI? We shouldn't be asking, how fast can we deploy it? We should be asking, what's the smartest process to deploy it? And maybe most importantly, the goal isn't, can we replace humans? It's, how can we best augment humans? The real measure of success here isn't having the most powerful AI, it's having the most intelligent strategy. Ultimately, this dream of a single, godlike AI that's going to swoop in and solve all our problems, it's a dangerous illusion. The real path forward is a lot more humble, a lot more methodical, and frankly, a whole lot smarter. It's not a leap of faith, it's a deliberate walk, step by careful step, into the future we actually want to build.